Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Galan and you're watching Firstpost. In the next 2 minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. We begin in West Asia. Hamas announced that it is indefinitely postponing the next hostage prisoner exchange that was scheduled for Saturday under a fragile truce agreement with Israel. The Palestinian group accused Israel of failing to comply with the terms of ceasefire. Israeli Defense Minister criticized the move, calling it a quote-unquote complete violation of the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Protests broke out in Israel's Tel Aviv city after Hamas suspended release of Israeli captives under further notice. The protesters gathered in Hostages Square and blocked the access road to Tel Aviv. Hostage families and their supporters pressed the Israeli government not to abandon the ceasefire agreement. At least one person died after a business jet smashed into another mid-sized plane upon landing at Scottsdale Airport in US's Arizona yesterday. The Federal Aviation Authority have temporarily paused the airport operations. In Europe, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet US Vice President J.D. Vance at the Munich Security Conference on Friday. This as US President Trump pushes to put an end to nearly 3-year-long Ukraine-Russia war. He also confirmed sending his special envoy Keith Kellogg to Ukraine with a proposal to halt the Russia-Ukraine fighting. Moving to the war updates in Europe, Russian drone attack caused a fire in Ukrainian capital Kyiv. The attack also injured a woman and damaged several houses in the northeastern city of Sumy. The Ukrainian military said that it had shot down 61 out of 83 Russian drones. It added that 22 more drones would have been eliminated through electronic warfare. Now moving to the Korean Peninsula, North Korea accused the United States of a hostile military act after its submarine docked at a South Korean port. North Korea said that the US vessel poses a grave security threat. Pyongyang said its military forces are ready to take any necessary action. Meanwhile, South Korea said that the US submarine entered Busan port for supplies and rest. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a rousing welcome in France upon his arrival yesterday. French President Emmanuel Macron met Prime Minister Modi in Paris and both the leaders shared a warm hug. PM Modi attended a special dinner hosted by Macron. He also met other leaders who will be attending an AI Action Summit set to be chaired by PM Modi and the French President. In a move similar to Trump administration's tough immigration crackdown, the UK government has launched mass raids on illegal immigrants working in the country. Described as UK-wide blitz, the crackdown has been extended to Indian restaurants, nail bars, convenience stores and car washes which employ migrant workers. In January, the authorities raided 828 premises and made 609 arrests. At least 55 people died after a bus veered off a highway bridge and plunged into a polluted ravine in Guatemala. The bus was carrying around 70 people when it fell into a river contaminated with sewage in Guatemala City. President Bernardo Arevalo has declared 3 days of national mourning. In climate news, climate activists staged a protest at an international AI summit in Paris, demanding that tech companies move away from fossil fuel-powered data centers. Protesters unfurled banners and sang a climate-themed version of Britney Spears' Toxic to highlight AI's massive energy consumption. The summit, attended by world leaders and tech executives, aims to address AI's environmental impact. Sydney was drenched by a severe summer thunderstorm with nearly 100 millimeters of rain flooding parts of the city. This included the streets near the iconic Sydney Fish Market. Authorities urged residents to stay indoors and avoid flood waters as the Bureau of Meteorology warned of more storms expected in the region. A rapidly spreading wildfire is threatening the urban area of Gallipoli in Chile. The firefighters, municipal workers and Police officers have been deployed to contain the flames, which remain out of control. While no homes have been affected so far, authorities report that crews are struggling with exhaustion due to the fire's scale and complexity. Schools in southern Brazil postpone reopening as an intense heatwave sweeps across the region. The temperatures are soaring above 40 degrees Celsius in some places. Originally set to resume on February 10, classes in over 2,000 state schools will now begin on February 17th. This is following pressure from teachers' union citing extreme heat and inadequate cooling infrastructure. Meteorologists warn that February 11 could see the peak of the heatwave. Colombia saw one of its lowest deforestation rates in over 2 decades in 2024. Despite an increase from the previous year, this is according to outgoing Environment Minister Susana Mohammed. Deforestation fell by over a third in 2023. But challenges remain due to drought and conflicts with rebel groups involved in illegal logging and land exploitation. Gold prices continue to surge to a record tally, breaching the $2,900 mark for the first time. Spot gold rose to 1.6% to $2,905.24 per ounce, while the U.S. gold futures surged 1.6% to $2,934.40 per ounce. The surge comes in the backdrop of U.S. President Donald Trump's new tariffs. McDonald's recorded its biggest decline in sales in nearly 5 years. The company's comparable sales fell by 1.4% in the fourth quarter, marking the largest drop since the pandemic. The drop is attributed to a brief E. coli outbreak. Hong Kong is set to file a complaint to the World Trade Organization against the recent tariffs imposed by Donald Trump administration. The Hong Kong officials claim that the U.S. has overlooked the city's status as separate customs territory. The Hong Kong authorities claim that this violates the WTA rules. Southwest Airlines appoints Tom Doxey as its chief financial officer. The US-based carrier adds that the appointment will come into effect from March 10. Doxey is an industry veteran who has served as Breeze Airways president. His appointment follows the company's current CFO Tammy Romo's retirement. Shares of oil major BP rose by 7%, marking their highest surge since August. The surge follows reports of US-based Elliott Management increasing its stake in the company. BP shares fell by 16% last year after investor confidence dwindled following its CEO Bernard Looney's exit in 2023. The Merck Group is at advanced stage of talks to acquire SpringWorks Therapeutics. The announcement was made by the Germany-based healthcare and technology group Merck yesterday. After the announcement, shares of SpringWorks jumped 34%, taking the company's market value to around $4 billion. Novartis agrees to acquire biopharma firm Anthos Therapeutics for up to $3.1 billion. The Swiss pharmaceutical giant says the deal is expected to close in the first half of 2025. It will cost Novartis $925 million upfront and potential additional payment of up to $2.15 billion. Billionaire Elon Musk leads a group of investors planning to buy OpenAI. The deal to buy ChatGPT's parent company is proposed at $97.4 billion. Musk co-founded OpenAI in 2015. He left the company over its shift to for-profit work for philanthropy. In the ongoing AI summit in Paris, French President Emmanuel Macron said that Europe will cut back on regulators to make it easier for the artificial intelligence sector to flourish. The European Union's digital chief also promised to simplify bloc's rules. This comes after US President Donald Trump backed US competitiveness in the AI sector. Grok has secured a $1.5 billion commitment from Saudi Arabia. The investment is aimed at expanding its advanced AI chips delivery to the country. The announcement was made by the US-based semiconductor startup yesterday. Grok already has a deal with Armaco Digital, which enabled it to build a critical AI hub in the region in December last year. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah's participation in the Champions Trophy will be decided today. His name was present in the provisional squad list announced on January 18th. However, India will submit the final squads list today to the International Cricket Council. Bumrah hasn't played cricket since the Border Gavaskar Trophy last month. He has been sidelined with an injury since then. Sri Lanka has announced their squad for an ODI series against Australia. The team will captained by Charit Asalanka. The two matches will be played on Wednesday and Friday. This ODI series serves as a warm-up for both the teams before the Champions Trophy. In football, Real Madrid's coach has backed his club's decision to boycott the Ballon d'Or. The award was won by Manchester City midfielder Rodri. Real Madrid chose not to go to ceremony as a sign of protest. They felt Vinicius Jr. deserved the Ballon d'Or award. Reports say Cristiano Ronaldo has extended his contract with Al Nassr. He will stay with the Saudi Pro League giants until June 2026. The Portuguese legend joined Al Nassr in January 2023. Ronaldo has netted 82 goals in 90 matches. Crystal Palace beat Doncaster Rovers 2-0 in the FA Cup. Defender Daniel Muniz scored the first goal in the 31st minute. Midfielder Justin Devaney added a second goal in the 55th minute. Crystal Palace will next play Millwall FC in the 5th round. The Pakistan men's national football team has been excluded from the AFC Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers. This comes after FIFA suspended the country's football federation over government interference. Pakistan was drawn in Group E. Its matches were against Syria, Myanmar and Afghanistan. In tennis, world number 7 Novak Djokovic is eyeing his 100th title at the Qatar Open in Doha. An injury forced him out of the Australia Open semi-final last month. Djokovic also couldn't play in Serbia's Davis Cup match first round qualifier. Now he has completely recovered and healed. The Qatar Open starts from February 17th. Women's world number 2 Iga Świątek has reached the third round of the Qatar Open. She swamped Maria Sakkari of Greece 6-4, 6-0 in straight sets. Świątek is defending champion of the tournament and she is eyeing her 4th title at Doha. New Zealand Rugby is suing its former sponsor iNeos. This is for breaking their 6-year sponsorship deal. iNeos had a contract from 2022 to 2027 but decided to end its early on January 1, 2025. New Zealand has also said iNeos hasn't paid the first installment fee of 2025. World champion D. Gukesh lost to Fabiano Caruana in the freestyle chess Grand Slam quarterfinals. Gukesh resigned in the second game after just 18 moves. The 2-0 defeat resulted in Gukesh's elimination from the tournament. And finally, from the world of showbiz, Elon Musk has deleted rapper Kanye West's X account following a series of anti-Semitic posts, including one where he declared, "I am a Nazi." After severe backlash over the rapper's repeated hateful rhetoric, including praising Hitler, Musk decided to act. This happened after West thanked Musk to let him vent on his platform. Fresh off their electrifying Super Bowl halftime performance, Kendrick Lamar and SZA have announced additional dates for their grand national tour. The duo will bring their stadium tour to 13 cities across Europe and the United Kingdom this summer, following their North American leg in the spring. The tour will begin in April and culminate in August. The tickets will start selling from February 12th. Oscar winner Cillian Murphy has been a fan favorite choice to play Voldemort in HBO's upcoming Harry Potter series. But new rumors suggest he may take a different role. According to reports, Murphy is being considered for Professor Quirrell, the timid defense against the dark arts teacher who secretly harbors the Dark Lord. While nothing is confirmed, Murphy's casting could bring a fresh, chilling take on the character. Tom Cruise's commitment to performing his own stunts has defined the Mission Impossible franchise, and the upcoming Final Reckoning is no exception. In an interview, Cruise revealed that a high-speed biplane stunt pushed him to his physical limits. He said, and I quote, "There were times I would pass out, I couldn't get back into the cockpit," end quote. The film will release in May this year. And finally, Marvel's latest Thunderbolts trailer hints at an intense battle between the anti-hero team and Void in a dark and destructive force. While the footage keeps the Void's face hidden, fans of the comics recognize the entity as the evil counterpart of Sentry. It's a superhero with the power of million suns. The film will release in May this year. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to First Post.